Washi tapes will be coming soon, hopefully.
Why else is TJ helping?
Right, I was gonna say, like, what is like your
Why
guys'
else?
Right. Okay. The other reason, yeah, I don't think I finished, or I don't think I said it when I was explaining earlier, but TJ and I are engaged. So
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, and I'm Piying.
I'm Tina.
I'm Kalina.
I'm T Fong, or TJ.
And today we're going to do another PS video, and the purpose of our PS series is to have conversations about different and personal experiences throughout people's lives. And today we have our very own Finola.
everyone already knows me. I'm Finola. I guess I'll just introduce myself by talking about my fun. A fun fact about me is I have 128 special pens.
Special.
And yeah, they're like the gel and like calligraphy pens. So that's why they're special. They're not like the regular pens. My hope, that was like a hard question that I have to think. And this is like a question you ask everyone, but I guess one of my hopes is to make an impact on my students' lives and just to help them grow academically and as a person. And then my dream is to really travel to like almost all the countries in my lifetime, or as many countries in my lifetime, I guess. I don't know, probably won't be able to visit every country, but I guess that's one of my dreams.
Well, we do know that you study abroad. You did study abroad in South Korea, so how was that? Like, give us like a very quick overview.
And over it is definitely a once in a lifetime experience. And I say it because like it's like the people that you are with and like the school and like the just like experience as a whole is really like it only happens once, because like traveling to Korea is different from like actually living there and like attending school there. And so being able to study abroad, you are more is immersed, yeah, immersed into the culture and like the environment. So if anyone can study abroad, they should definitely do it. I have no regrets.
So I know that after hearing a lot of people's like study abroad experiences, they experienced culture shock both when they first arrived in that country, whichever one they're visiting, and when they came back to the US. So did you experience both of those?
Yes. I guess because when I was in Korea, we kind of had a little session about that in our with all like the foreigner students, and they kind of talked about it, or they use like the honeymoon stages in like in a relationship as an example. So like when you get to Korea, you are like in that high honeymoon stage because everything is like so new to you. You get to do all these things and they're like amazing and wonderful. You have like you're just like having the time of your life. But then like there is a point where like you're like, oh my gosh, like I do miss home and all that stuff. But then also the other side of it is like the learning the culture, like, oh my gosh, this is what you have to do. And you notice that there's a lot of stereotypes around Americans, and just things that you probably didn't think about before. So there's definitely a lot of culture shock, different from the US. And I think for me though, because I'm Asian, I like how Koreans saw me weren't the same as how they saw my other American friends. A lot of the times they didn't think I was American anyway. So like a lot of times Americans or Koreans talked to me in Korean, like when we are out like on the streets, because a lot of the times the Koreans when the Koreans saw my American friends, they're like, "Oh my gosh, hi! Like, are you from America?" And they would talk to them. Then like they they would like skip me and my other Asian friends. We're like, we're Americans too. So it's kind of funny to see how what they perceive American as, and so it's very interesting, and like I love learning about the Korean culture, and it was really fun learning like all the being how what is seniority, yeah, learning all of that, and like a lot of people try to at first, I think a lot of people are just like, oh, you have to kind of learn the Korean culture and do what they do. But one of my roommates told me that, like, oh, like you guys are foreigners, so like Koreans don't expect you guys to like bow to, to your seniors or upperclassmen or to your professors. Um, but I think like towards our professors, we do that anyway because just to show respect to them. Um, but like a lot of Koreans, they're like, oh, it's okay if you don't follow like the Korean culture here because like some you guys probably don't know anyway, but they do appreciate having us learning. So there's lots of culture shock there, but it was fun to just see the difference in American culture and what they think of Americans. So that was interesting.
So you talked about the kind of like the language barrier. Did you ever feel, what is it, like exhausted that you couldn't communicate efficiently, or were there any other hardships that you went through? Because I forgot, how long was your study abroad term?
It was like 4 months. Yeah, 3 or 4 months. Yeah, about that. Um, I don't think I've ever felt it exhausted actually. But that's like a very good question because I don't think I've ever felt like, oh my gosh, this is so tiring. A thing about like where I lived in Korea, I lived more in the countryside, so I had to learn and use my Korean language skills, which like was very like for me being able to speak the store owners when I go eat out and stuff like that. It's like I really felt like I was a part of the culture and really trying to put myself in that environment. Um, it is hard though, but then like it's also fun trying to learn. And a lot of the times if we don't know, we always had at least one friend who knew Korean, so they would also translate. But most of the time, it wasn't that bad. Trying to speak to people in Korean in the area that I lived. But then like in Seoul, there was a lot more people who spoke English at like restaurants. And there was like one time though where there was like a very like language barrier because it was just me and my friends. We didn't have any of our Korean friends with us, but we kind of got lost in the subway area because we weren't sure which way we were going and if it was the right. There's this very nice security guy. He was very old, and he like he didn't know English, but we knew he was talking to us, and then we kind of used like our broken Korean to like ask him if we were going the right way. Um, but like it was like even though we had that language barrier, we were still able to understand because of body language, and so and the few words that he said to us that like helped us knew where we're going, and we were so thankful to him. We were like thanking him like so many times before we left, and he was just so sweet to like help us and notice a group of girls like walking around back and forth. So he was very sweet, and we like stood in front of a map too, so I'm pretty sure he was like, yeah, they're lost. So it's nice of him to like, even though he was super like an older ajashi man, he was like very kind and like came. Yeah, he was really nice. I think that was like the only time we've experienced a like a time where we just didn't speak Korean at all or didn't have any Korean friends with us to do the talking, and we were just able to communicate even though we had that language barrier.
So with like language, how was it learning the Korean language? Like, did you think it was hard or like was it easy?
It was hard. um, so like I had to learn. Like I can't remember, but like I know we had like a reading class, um, and I can't remember if it's like reading, writing, and listening or speaking, but it was really hard trying to learn how to, I think, write more than speak. I don't remember which one was harder, but our Korean teacher only so that was interesting because she didn't know English very well. She only knew Chinese and Korean. So she mainly talked in Korean the whole entire semester. And we kind of struggled a little bit, but then not so much because I guess like body language is like what really helps you to be like, oh, like that's what she's talking about. And just looking at our book, it's like it's all in Korean too. So just I guess like how she taught made us like it's just I don't know what it was, but just how she taught helped us learn and be able to like replicate what she's doing and doing it like ourselves. And I think it was hard to learn because of the language barrier, but then at the same time, it wasn't hard, if that makes sense. Because I don't know, just how she taught language wise, like if you didn't know something, she was always able to like point at something and like point at another thing, and we're able to like, oh, like that's what you're talking about, like time or I don't know, like this, like I don't, it's just yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
Um,
But it was tough, but like we were able to do it. So
so, since now you're a teacher yourself, do you find yourself like the methods that she used to teach like her own students? Do you find yourself using those types of methods too, or?
um I think in a way, yes, because she tried to find things that we already knew of. So like using that to be a part of like how she taught us. And I think like with not just me, but like I think most teachers do that, like where they try to find something that like students do and be use that as a part of their lesson. And so I think like with my students now, that's what I try to do, try to like relate or like get to know them and then use what they like or can relate to as a part of the lesson to like help them learn.
Were you ever homesick when you were in Korea?
Yes. There was like I don't think I called home a lot because I knew I would probably make it a habit. I know one of my roommates, she called home almost every day, but because thinking about like all the things that I was going to miss out at home while I was in Korea, like it kind of made me sad because it was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss Kalena's birthday, I'm gonna miss Sam and Solomon's birthday, and I'm just gonna miss out on so much in that amount of time. So I try not to call home as much. I called from time to time, but there was this one peak, I guess, probably like in the middle of the semester. I literally like cried almost every day because like I just like missed home and missed my community at home. And that was like I probably one of my low points in Korea. But one of my Korean friends, she's like one of my real good friends. She was like always there for me, and she kind of like helped me through it by talking to me. And she was just always there. And I think that kind of helped me get out of that little pit for that week. But there was that time where I was very homesick and just missed my family and my friends. But other than that, I was fine the rest of the semester.
So speaking of your students, what grade do you teach and how has this semester or this the semester, how it's been going for you since we are in quarantine and like students are either online or hybrid or in person.
So I'm currently teaching sixth grade. I know in some other areas, sixth grade is a part of middle school, but my sixth grade is a part of an elementary. Um, since quarantine started, it has been difficult. It's not easy for sure. To like, you kind of would think that by now we have like a system set up ready for the kids because of the last school year when we had a distance learning at the end of the year. But when we started off this year, we still had no idea what would work. Um, and I felt that like the reason because of that is last semester when COVID had hit, everything just was like everyone just kind of like in a shock, like, oh my gosh, like what do we do about school now? So classes were like lenient for our kids. We just posted assignments and videos for them to learn. And like our school, and I think most schools were very lenient on like student grading. But now this semester we're trying to like, how can students really learn without like falling behind? And that was like the big thing which made everything different from last semester. So this semester is a little bit more strict, where like we need to make sure they are on, that they're learning like they would normally do in class, except everything's online. So that's it is, it's very, I don't know, it's just something that we're all still trying to learn. um it's tough, and I'm sure it's tough on the kids too, but it's definitely a lot more work than we would think. um and I was sharing with my coworkers that we spend a lot of time with our kids online, that we it's hard to find that balance between work and school, because then we don't have time to plan out our lessons when we are working with kids literally the whole day. So it's tough to find that balance, but like at the same time I still trying to enjoy being with my kids, and I do enjoy being with them. They are hilarious, and I wish I could like be with them in school, but like we can't. So just trying to make school the best for them as much as I can during this time.
Going off on like teaching, what made you want to become a teacher?
Hmm. I guess it probably be, I guess my mom is a huge influence in that, because she's a teacher. And growing up, I've actually enjoyed like helping her grade papers, or like helping her cut things out of like the laminator or laminating paper. And I was like, oh, I like doing this. Maybe I'll be a teacher. Because like, honestly, at a young age, I thought that was all it is, just giving homework and grading it. And I, at the time, enjoyed it. But now I don't enjoy grading as much because that's a lot of work. But I think another part of it is because I also like kids growing up, and I've worked a lot with kids, and that huge role into my decision to be a teacher. And then also all the teachers that I had who impacted my own education. So I have a lot of great influencers, I guess, in the growing up, so which helps me make this decision. Also, because I am very bad at like science. Like funny thing, I teach science, but then like I also, it's not one of my favorite subjects. And I don't know, I just feel like working with kids is, I just love doing that. So
So besides the like obvious virtual learning, what kind of differences and similarities do you see with the way you teach now versus before COVID happened?
um similarities would just be like the teaching, trying to teach the same like skills that I've always taught, using some of the same resources, but like in a different format. It's hard to try to keep students engaged online because in person and online, I still use the same like videos, examples, um, but like just trying to find different activities. Like I would do more group activities, team building activities, but then online is kind of hard to do that. We can definitely do it as like a whole class, but then individual activities, kids, surprisingly, for my kids, they are not as social when I put them into groups. So it's like, I don't know, it's because they're shy and they're not in person anymore, that they're lacking that interaction with each but it's just harder to do group things or try to figure around it with everything being online. And like trying to do like worksheets online is more difficult because you have to try to figure out like which format on online is best to use to do worksheets. Like we use a bunch of different ones like Google Docs, Google Slides. We use this program called Cami. So there's a lot of options, but it's always like which one is the best to use for this activity and having to figure that out. So yeah, it's it's there's just yeah those things, and again that interaction is different. Like my interaction, or actually the students' interaction with me. I don't know if you guys seen like that a video where they're talking. It's like on Facebook, I think, how they're talking about the teacher is talking, but there's like black screens because they can't see their faces and the camera's off. And it's like talking to myself almost if they're not responding to me. But like I tell my students, like it's already a month of school, you guys. Camera needs to be on, unmute to participate. So I am starting trying to encourage them, and I also like understand like some kids they have like Wi-Fi problems and other things that are obstacles from doing that. But um, it's participation is really hard to try to do. I've had kids who actually left their computers where their Zoom was on, and you can tell because then when you're like, okay, bye, see you tomorrow, and there's like those few kids who are on, and you're like, hello, are you there? Hello, and like you're chatting with them, and they're not answering you, and I ditched my class. So I've had those kids, and I had kids who like slept in class during a morning meeting too. And it's like, okay, you need to wake up. Hello, are you there? And then there's like no answer. And it's like, okay, bye, and Zoom. And it's funny because they know that too. Like one of my students, like, sorry, I fell asleep in Zoom because when I woke up, you ended the meeting. I was like, yes, I tried to get your attention, but you're obviously not there. So but like I appreciate kids who are honest with me, like, sorry, I fell asleep. But that's and like it's funny because in person you don't have that many kids that fall asleep in class. I've never had that in person. So like having them falling asleep on Zoom is a new other thing that I would have to like try to deal with. But I don't know. And I'm sure they're pretty tired too. It's funny though, a lot of them are like, I'm bored. And I'm like, you're in school. Make, I don't know, do something for school. And they're like outside, like at the end of the day too, they would be like, I don't want to, like, can I just like hang out because I'm bored after this? I'm like, no, I have to go. Bye, guys. So it's funny because kids are now bored being at home and like want things to do sometimes. But some kids are happy that they don't have to be in school. So there's that difference on how kids feel about school too. So
Okay,
Of
so then
course.
you said that you enjoyed helping your mom do like, the laminating her work and stuff. So that kind of plays into like sticker making. So I heard that you started your business. So can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I did. I guess this all started over the summer. I like a lot of you guys know I enjoy doing a lot of crafting, and I over the summer I've made cards to my friends, and it was just like just for fun. But there was like it was like a point where I had a few of my friends had asked like, "Oh, have you thought about like doing stickers or starting um, making stickers?" And I was like, not really. And I thought about it more, and I was like, that would be like a nice like side job to do, is to do stickers maybe. And I didn't really seriously think about it, but like I talked to TJ about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like you should definitely do it." And with the amount of washi tape that I collect, I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe if I make stickers and then I can start making washi tapes too and like sell it, just designing it and manufacturing it. Um, and for some reason, I was also like inspired by another creator who made like manga washi tapes, and I was like, I never thought about making my own washi tapes, and so that's why I decided to start it, my own little sticker washi tape business, because I like doodling. I'm not the best artist, and I was sharing this with TJ that I was kind of shook about how good I can eyeball drawing sometimes. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know I'm good at this. I'm not like the best, but like I definitely enjoy it. So I decided to start that as a side job um, from like my main teaching job. So and then I decided to add TJ to be part of it because he's a great artist, in my opinion. So,
So, what's the name of your brand?
oh
I guess
yeah.
we'll put it in
Uh,
the description box below.
yes.
Yeah.
Zestful Artistry. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. um,
Oh.
and check out my shop on Etsy too. Yeah, so it's called Zestful Artistry. It was hard, really hard to come up with a name. But like I made like a huge list of names and synonyms that are about what I liked and about me, and then I end up with successful artistry. So definitely check out my shop if you have time. I don't have a lot yet, but washi
Our
tapes.
shop.
Oh yeah, sorry. Our shop. TJ's helping like
I'm
so.
like behind the scenes managing a lot of it.
Because I'm very good with TikTok and Instagram, and I always forget that I have the Facebook page. So TJ has been helping with that, which I am so thankful for because I just wish it was just easier to connect Instagram to Facebook without like having it through my own personal account. But yeah, so check it out. Washi tapes will be coming soon, hopefully.
Why else is TJ helping?
Right, I was gonna say like, what is like your guys'
Why else?
relationship?
Right. Okay. The other reason, yeah, I don't think I finished, or I don't think I said it when I was explaining earlier, but TJ and I are engaged. So, like, honestly, this idea came way before he even proposed, but I was like, dude, like, you're a great artist. You can help me with this. And, like, maybe this can be a way for us to, like, save money to go towards like our wedding because my job at my current place I don't make a huge ton of money, and TJ's still going to school and doing his thing. So I was like, this would be like a great job. Like any money that we get can go to our wedding fund, I guess. And then what do you know? On the launch day of my shop, TJ also proposed to me, and what timing it was. was.
For real. Oh my gosh.
So,
Yep.
So tell us all about it.
from my perspective, and then we can have TJ share his perspective when I'm done. So October 12th is our fifth, or was our 5th-year anniversary together. Monday, October 12th was our 5th-year anniversary being together. And the whole idea or the plan was just to like hang out and go out for dinner. We went to Texas Roadhouse. And that night or that day, I was like really excited, like, oh my gosh, like this is like date after since the pandemic started. So I was really excited and like we're gonna hang out. It's just gonna be us. And in my head, I was like, I'm gonna come home right after work. He's gonna come over, pick me up, and we're gonna hang out and go eat for dinner. That was the idea in my mind. But when I left school, I called him and or no, I texted him like, is your dad home? Like, are we gonna go? Are you gonna come? And he was like, my dad's not home yet. And I was like, what? Like, did you not tell? I was like low key frustrated because like, it is 5-year anniversary. Why did you not tell your dad that like he should be home so you can go or something? And like I was just like, fine, you know, it's fine. I'll wait for you to come. And so I got home and I was waiting and I was very impatient. I called him and he like he FaceTimed me and I was like, oh, like you're FaceTiming me. And he goes, oh. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where are you at? And he was like, I'm outside. And I said, why are you outside? And he was like, I needed to like change my oil. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, but like that doesn't look like you're outside. And he said, I'm in my car. It's cold out. And I was like, oh, okay. And honestly, I believed every single word he said. So I was like, okay, fine, just hurry up. Like I can't like I just come. And after a while he finally came and I was kind of like upset with him. He's like, I'm gonna get up to you, don't worry. And I was like, oh, fine, whatever. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but sure. We wasted time. I'm not gonna be able to spend time with you as much as I wanted. Um, so we finally left my house and I told him, let's stop by a park so that I can give you my gifts. I didn't want to give it to him in the car and I was like, that's kind of lame. So I was like, let's go somewhere nice. And so we just stopped by the park. I had my blanket. We found like a nice spot by the lake or yeah, lake-ish.
By the river.
Yeah, river. Um, and I had all my gifts prepared and I gave it to him. And since it was our 5-year anniversary, I kind of made a little theme. On Pinterest, they had that like 5 senses gift. So like a gift represented each senses. And so I gave it to him. I explained why I chose that particular gift for to go with that a senses. And after that, we sat there for a little bit and I was like, okay, so should we go eat now? And he's like, oh yeah, yeah, let's go eat. And we both got up and then he was like, oh, so like I actually yesterday and I kind of knew where he was going with this. And he was like, um, and he basically just like got down on his knee and asked me to marry him. I was shocked because I was like, what? Like, is this real? Are you joking? And he was like, it's no, like it's not a joke, it's real. And like that was when like I like looked down and he had a legit ring and I was just so blown. Like I was like, this is like a joke, right? Are you serious? And he's like, I'm serious, this is not a joke. Like and he was just like waiting for me and I was like, yes, I'll marry you. And I think I like hugged him twice while he was kneeling down. And I was just like so shocked and like blown away. And it was just only us and I was like laughing and crying at the same time. And he said yes, and so he could get up and we hugged and I was very surprised. This is not what I was um expecting. And he was like, see, didn't I tell you I made up for it? And I was like, oh my gosh. Sure. And I was like, I thought my gifts were cute. Why did you gotta ruin this for me? So
I got you 5 gifts, so you had to go and get me a ring. Wow.
yeah. So it was a nice surprise, honestly. And I was telling TJ that if he had like really changed our plans, I would probably question him even harder and like really tell like I was like, it's kind of perfect how he did it because it was just us. And honestly, I cried, so I'm glad no one was there to record it or to see me cry and laugh at the same time. Yeah, I was like, I'm glad nobody was here, but it was nice. I it was so unexpected, but I just liked the way how it all happened. It was all a surprise. So
Yeah, I
TJ,
thought about changing our plans and um, how it would all go down and how it all would work out. I thought about like maybe I shouldn't ask her to marry me on that day, or because then it would give me some time to prepare something, or like give me some time to think of something like better than what I'm doing right now. But she made it like we joked about what if like I were to ask Finola to marry me on our anniversary weeks before, and I was like, yeah, that would be pretty crazy, right? And then everything on that day of, I was just like, it has to be today. I can't change anything about today. It has to be today. So I just, yeah, the day before I talked to her parents, I talked to my dad, and then I told my mom, told some of my friends, I told uh, your siblings, Nola's brothers and sister, and yeah, it all just went down on the same day, super fast, and it was just all. It just had to be that day. It couldn't be any other day. So went to Jared's, got a ring, yeah, made up all that stuff about my dad, and uh, yeah, I popped the question, and that's that. So
yeah,
We got
I
Oh,
uh,
going back to that day, I felt like Finola was really annoyed.
yeah.
She was like walking around the house and she's like, I was like, dude, what's wrong?
Yeah.
also like Kalina and Solomon, they were cooking dinner and they were like very loud and laughing more than usual. So I went up and I was like, why are you guys laughing? What's so funny? And like, oh, nothing. It's nothing. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. And turns out they were talking about TJ and him proposing. So, but I was saying, so TJ plans like my surprise birthday this past summer, or in the summer, and um, I was sharing that he made so many plans, and I questioned a lot of his plans. It was being very annoying. Like, why are we doing this? You didn't want to do this before. Why are you doing it now? So I was like, changed plans for Monday. I would have been like that, and I kept pressing him and asking him questions, and then he would probably get annoyed at me. But then the other thing is too, because I planned a lot of the things that we do most of the time. So it was like smart of TJ to like make his plans around the plans that I already made. And it worked out. I was actually surprised. So yeah.
Yep. I am much better on the fly than I am in preparation. So
We're
yeah.
so opposites. Oh my gosh.
Okay, but not gonna lie though, when TJ said he was gonna tell us first and he didn't, I was kind of I was like, wow. I mean, I'm happy for you guys, but wow. He said that he would tell us.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
thought about it and I was like, man, that means I have to message even more people. And I was like,
Yeah.
No, but then TJ, it's like you already had like a group chat with us without Finola in it.
I don't know if I still have that group
does?
chat too. So
Oh,
I wasn't
well, that's
sure.
too bad.
Yeah.
Is it the
Yeah.
one for my birthday?
Yeah, I think it's the
Finola.
one
No,
for your
we added
birthday.
Finn into it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was the one where he got her the other ring.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one.
No, I
we
thought
moved
he
it
I don't
deleted
before
it.
I don't think I have that one anymore.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I still had it.
But yeah.
Dang, but when Finola was like, "Are you serious? Are you joking?" He was like, "No, just marry me. Like, hurry up."
There was a point where I was like, "Did I say yes yet?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, I'm married."
Yeah, it didn't even cross my mind that she had to say yes too, and I was like, assumed that she was like it was already yes, you know, she didn't even have to say it.
You know, it'd be weird if she said no.
I mean, not
5 years.
I'm
if she
laughing
said
and
no.
crying, and then in the end, I said no. How
Yeah.
sad, you know?
Like, oh my gosh, no.
Awkward.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, even though it's bad quality, can you kind of show your ring?
I don't can see. Should I show this way? Oh,
You
oh,
just
wait.
take
Oh, you
it
gotta
off.
do
You
like
could just
this.
take it off.
yeah, go like that.
How do I? Oh, like, see this? Oh, there we go. Wait, let me fix it. It's like centered.
Wow. Wow.
It's very like
Kind of medieval, you
simple.
know what I mean? Like the little
It's like 2 swirls or something.
yeah,
It's like two
like the
twigs.
crown.
Kind of.
It feels like the crowns that the medieval.
Yeah,
kings
it's
used to
very
wear.
like I didn't realize this until I heard another friend said it. She's like, it's very you, like it's very fantasy, like kind of like the games you guys play together. I'm
It
like,
is.
you know, you're right. It actually does. I didn't like think about that, or it didn't occur to me.
I didn't
And
even think about that either.
yeah, because now that I keep looking at it, I'm like, wow, I can see this. Like, it's very fantasy version, medieval elegance, I guess. I don't know. It's very simple, and I was like, wow, it's very cute. I love it. So,
Yes.
and like we didn't even like look at rings beforehand either. And I just sent TJ said, oh, like these are like rings that I think are cute, and so I was like, he's pretty good. You got a good eye, TJ.
I didn't even look at the ring. I just saw that it was the smallest one, and I saw that it was the smallest one that probably would fit. All the other rings were too big or too small. I was like, this is it. This is the one. I'm gonna take a wild guess, and it fit, just barely. And then we got to resize the next day. So
Wow. Well, congratulations.
So, then with all these wedding plans, the virtual learning, your sticker business, and even being involved in like the church, hang out with your friends and stuff like that. Do you ever have time to kind of, sit down, relax, and be by yourself and just take a break from everything, or
I like I would like to think that I do. I try to take a break from work. So like one of my goals this year was to
she
be
takes
done
breaks
with
with
work.
me. She plays games with me. I'm part of the break.
Yes, I do play games with TJ. But I try to be done with work by like 4:30. And then most of the time after work I don't do much. I either just watch Netflix or play games with TJ. Um, but like with the side business, it kind of helps me a little bit with that self-care because I'm just sitting and just doodling and designing things, and in a sense it's like therapeutic to me. Um, so I don't feel like that's a huge like risk. It's not something that like, oh, I need to do, and I force myself to do it because I already like doing it. But it's just like the time where I have to like post things, that's the other thing that I'm like dreading to do because I don't know what to post. But like the whole design and making the stickers, like I find it very therapeutic and it's not like a huge hassle to do, you know. So with everything that like goes on in life, I try to find those moments where I can do something that I enjoy, that won't stress me out. It can be hard at times, but like I just have to do it. But I feel like almost every day I do keep time to myself, or at least try to, and just enjoy that moment of not having to worry or stress out about things. Um, and I think it's very helpful for me to be able to socialize with people. Like over the summer, I think that was a huge pit for me because I barely socialize. Um, the summertime was a time where my parents really wanted us to be cautious. And so we literally didn't go out of the house the entire summer. Like the beginning of the summer we did, towards the end of the summer we did, but like in the middle of summer we zero interaction with people besides online. And I think that like me now realizing it, I needed, I just needed to socialize in that time because I was like I felt like I was in a huge pit, and and it was like a very bad, dark moment of time, feeling like lonely and just in the dumps. So now I'm trying to socialize more with people that are not part of work, because I will end up talking about work. So it's been nice to talk with like you guys, my friends, and people that I haven't talked to in a while, and trying to again find that balance between life and work. Um, but yeah, and I part of self-care too is I like to take baths, so that helps me to like relax a bit. And I think this semester I've been doing a whole lot better than I have since like COVID happened. So lots of things, but I'm trying to, it's hard to self-care, but I'm trying my best.
All right, well, that's all the time that we have with Finola. Thank you for sharing your stories with us and just updating us on your life. And with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment on our YouTube page. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and push that notification bell to know when we upload, which is every Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.